After 10 years in federal prison, Chris Young is a free man. The first person he hugged was former federal judge Kevin Sharp, who sentenced Young to life in prison. Sharp eventually stepped down as a federal judge, and he became Young's advocate. He lobbied for President Trump to grant Young clemency.
Every adjective you can think of: euphoric, I'm elated, I'm ecstatic, all of the above. I've been on an emotional roller coaster because at the end of the day, that's a very traumatic situation.
Young was charged with federal drug conspiracy when he was 22 and received the sentence of life without the possibility of parole. Now, at 32 years old, Young was granted a presidential pardon early January. His clemency didn't happen overnight, and it took the work of a lot of people.
Not only Miss Kim Kardashian, but of others like Mr. Mark Holden, Mr. Doug Deason. And those were people that supported Brittany and her work. And I'm so appreciative of Brittany. But what kept me going was the fact that I knew my worth. I knew my value and what I could add to the world. And I'm fortunate that they saw it too.
Attorney Brittany Barnett is best known for representing clients affected by disproportionate sentencing. This became her life's work after being personally affected.
I got very proximate to mass incarceration after experiencing the incarceration of my own mom. It gave me firsthand experience about just the devastation that is caused by mass incarceration on not only families, but entire communities.
Barnett created the Buried Alive Project, aimed at eliminating life without parole for federal drug offenses. She has won clemency for 10 people, including Young.
Luckily, we had a huge victory in September of 2020 in the courts, actually, on a very rare issue that is hardly ever granted. And Chris's life sentence was reduced to 14 years, just with good old-fashioned lawyering through the court. Unfortunately, he still had 2 years left, which is a long time still, after he served over a decade in prison. And so clemency from Donald Trump really helped get him across the finish line, so that he's here speaking with us now. So that
he was going to do that Trump was going to grant him clemency.
We weren't sure what would happen. No one was really sure what would happen or who it would be. Most presidents grant this mass clemencies their last day in office.
That joyous day did come for Young, but there's still more work to be done for people in prison for non-violent drug offenses.
I know you talked about how under Obama's administration you worked with his initiative to control the out of proportion federal drug sentences. That work is still not over, and a lot of people, I think, thought that a lot of work was done under that administration. Can you talk to us about the real numbers and the work that needs to be done?
Yeah. The Obama administration definitely made progress as it relates to criminal justice reform. He commuted the sentence of more people than any modern day president combined. But there's so much that needs to be done because this is a systemic issue.
Nearly half of the people in federal prison are serving life without parole for drug offenses, and 80% of them are people of color. Astrid Martinez for BNC.